stay gone away. When you're not around, I feel amazed.
Michael Brown, that was an Akata. His daddy is an Akata. And it's a shame, because his daddy, so he was just like destined. I always said any celebratory Come Guzzler Harris by these mammies is all fake and phony. Because if any of these mammies supported that whore.
Nation, one nation, but joy cometh
Come
in the
on,
morning.
Joe!
We will get through this.
We gonna get through this together, y'all.
Together.
Ooh, Joe, we gonna get through this together. Oh yeah. No, y'all ain't even considered. Y'all ain't even in the boat. What's up, everyone? I'm Axel of Axetruth.com, and this is where I cut through the bullshit. And I'm about to cut through some bullshit here now. You see, I know you heard about the attack or the Taco Bell worker that threw the hot water on the two black women that came behind the counter when they were supposedly inside just trying to get their order corrected. But for some reason, they felt they needed to go behind the counter. Now, we have seen incident after incident. I got 3 incidents here showing you of thousands of incidences that goes on in these fast food restaurants, as well as Walmart, any place where the public is dealing with a certain type of black female. These black females who have, I would say they basically have some type of, it's got to be something going on with them, some trauma-based mental illness, that they have these short fuses and feel like they have to lash out with violence, screaming, jumping on counters, throwing things, and fighting the workers. And these places that in these fast food restaurants, convenience stores, they don't pay these workers a lot of money to put up with that type of abuse, to risk their lives. And you're basically taking a risk because you don't know what these people are going to do. I saw that, I don't have the video here to show you of, if you hadn't seen the video, it went viral, where a black female went behind the counter of an auto parts store and attacked the cashier, drug her by her braids down to the ground, and was just beating her. And when the girl finished beating her, the cashier went behind the counter, got her gun, came out and shot her. Because the threat was still in the store. It was clearly self-defense, and it was a stand your ground state, and that's what she's going to use, and that's what she's going to get off on it. But thank God for stand your ground laws. You know, there are plenty incidences where people are being attacked on their job, hurt and injured by black females who lose their temper over stuff like mayonnaise, not enough ranch dressing, because they can't get extra sauce with something and they're going to get charged for it, and they act like spoiled kids. But let's look at some examples here. All video, sound, and music used during this broadcast falls under fair use. Fair use is allowed for the purpose of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe on copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. So here we go. First one.
A customer came inside my job trying to place her own order.
Yes, I am, because you're in my store and I'm asking you to get out. Now, get out.
No, she can't. You can't. I asked you to leave. It's employees only. It states clearly on my door.
I don't give a fuck if it's employees only. Y'all not even do. You know what?
She in the store, trying to place her order on the computer screen and arguing with the workers. This is what some of these women, they think they can do this. They have the right to do this.
Employees only. Y'all not even do. You know what? Last time I came here,
And I don't give a damn about your order.
It took 8 minutes for me to wait. I sure did. They called the cops.
I would have had to drag you.
You know what? Last time I came here,
And I don't give a damn about your order.
It took 8 minutes for me to wait. I sure did. They called the cops.
I would have had to drag you, bro. I'm gonna have to drag you, bro. What's up, Molly? Let me get up.
You saw that? She swung at, knocked something out the worker's hand, the guy's hand, and then her and the other black girl was arguing. She said, "Come on outside, it's ready to fight, ready to fight." But in a part of the store where customers are not supposed to be, she ended up trying to use their computer screen to place her order. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's one they're throwing food and jumping on the counters and throwing food at the workers. And we'll never forget this one. This one is one who comes through and she's upset about didn't get her ranch dressing, and she climbs out of the drive-through window and twerks on her way out, and an alphabet rainbow Skittles group person who's filming it is cheering her on.
She got in there.
You better get my shit. That's what I thought.
They get that ranch. Did she climb through the window? She didn't climb through the window. Did she climb through the window? She climbed through the window. Oh, twerk for me.
Went behind in the kitchen for some ranch dressing, clapping in everybody's face, threatening to get some ranch dressing, climbs out of the drive-through window and twerks on her way out. Okay, so here we have the story of the Taco Bell worker, and I'm gonna show the actual footage from the store, which has no sound. And from what I just showed you of how black women, and there are plenty of videos out here, many other ones. There's so many to choose from. So this is not something ragging on black women. We have the evidence. Don't sit up here and say, well, you just talking about. No. Show me any other ethnic group and show me more videos, as many videos as we can find of black people doing stuff like this, and black women especially doing things like this.
A woman and her 16-year-old niece are suing after they say a Taco Bell employee in Dallas threw boiling water at them, causing second and third degree burns. Surveillance footage shows the incident, but we can't hear what's being said. We can only see what's going on. The victims allege there was a dispute over their order, which then escalated to the assault. Police are investigating, but so far there's no word if any charges have been filed. Fox 4's David Sintendry reports.
Surveillance footage shows a Taco Bell manager pouring boiling water on a 16-year-old girl and her aunt in Lake Highlands last month, according to a lawsuit.
And they were just stopping to try to get some food on the way home.
Attorney Paul Grenke says his clients, the girl and her aunt, left with second and third degree burns when all they wanted was the $31 of food they paid for. They first filed a criminal complaint for assault with Dallas police, and police are investigating.
They went through the drive-through. The order was wrong. They went through again. The order was wrong.
According to the lawsuit, the restaurant's doors were locked, but they were let inside by an employee to get their order corrected.
They're not yelling at anyone.
We don't know what was said because there's no audio accompanying the footage, but you can see the teen and her aunt standing at the counter for roughly 2 minutes. The lawsuit alleges the employees refused to correct the order and became combative.
Inexplicably, at some point, a male employee threatens to fight CT.
CT is how the lawsuit identifies the 16-year-old girl. Now, according to their attorney, the teen and her aunt stepped toward the kitchen following that threat.
This 16-year-old girl, she didn't back down, but she didn't raise her arms, she didn't try to attack anyone, and at that point, they were doused with boiling water.
The lawsuit reads, instead of simply correcting the order, a Taco Bell employee threatened to fight the 16-year-old, and the Taco Bell store manager violently and without warning poured a bucket of boiling water over them. Taco Bell tells Fox 4 in a statement, "We take the safety and well-being of team members and customers seriously. Taco Bell is in contact with the franchise owner and operator of this restaurant on this matter and cannot comment on specifics of pending litigation." The lawsuit claims the teen's aunt, identified as Brittany Davis, had at least 10 seizures by the time she reached an emergency room. She was intubated and care flighted to Parkland Hospital's ICU burn unit. The lawsuit says both will have permanent scarring. Their attorney believes there's no way mistaken food orders should have turned into this.
Especially if someone's upset, you try to de-escalate the situation. You don't taunt them, much less a 16-year-old girl.
Plaintiffs in the lawsuit are seeking in excess of $1 million.
You know what's so funny? The age of, you know, when these attorneys try to speak on the age of these girls and boys. A 16-year-old girl, like that's a little girl, like that's a little child, when we have 12 and 13 and 8-year-olds out here with guns robbing, stealing cars, carjacking, home invasion. Give me a break. Number one, this story is bogus from top to bottom. These women were allowed in after going through drive-through, probably showing their asses, just like what we saw in the previous videos of how they act over food or any issue. Yes, the de-escalation of it, I bet you, and the woman who was speaking with the black woman, who you could tell by the body language. We're gonna look at the footage, the actual footage, and you'll see the body language, the hand gestures, the clapping, and the pointing. And and all you're getting is hearsay saying some man threatened them. I saw all females there. And then I saw them go behind the counter. Nobody came from around the counter to them. They went behind the counter. The people who are suing, the plaintiffs. They went behind the counter as if that's their jurisdiction to go behind the counter. They have that, they're entitled to go behind the counter to approach an employee and they don't, and the thing is, as an employee that's making barely probably $10 an hour, you don't know what these women are coming back there to do. And one of them got some hot water and poured it on them, and I laughed, I cracked up, I said, that's what they get. And if they got third-degree burns, so what? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And that's what they should have done. I wouldn't have risked my life trying to, sitting up here playing around wondering what these BT 1000s were going to do. The mother and the daughter. It wasn't like the daughter went behind the counter. It was the mom and the daughter that went behind the counter. So let's watch it.
A woman and her 16-year-old.
Wrong. Let's watch it. Here it is. All right, so here we go. Okay, now you see them right here. They come in. So here's I guess they're asking for the manager. So that worker right there goes back and get the manager. So you can probably tell, look at them. They're just sitting there probably talking all kind of smack about their order, looking around. I'm just going to narrate this because I know how the mentality of the BT 1000. The mother is just as ignorant as the daughter. Look, just now you see the language. Hands pointing. She's probably yelling at the manager. Ain't talking nicely. Look at the body language. Pointing, hands on the counter, leaning in. The woman, the manager, sitting there agreeing, listening, and she walked behind the counter, and there goes the water. And there it is. Let's go back to let's go back to here where she was when you see her talking to this when the manager finally comes up here, whoever she's speaking with the bun in her head. You see the manager is nodding her head, listening in agreement, trying to probably de-escalate, listening to her. She's getting loud, and the threats are coming somewhere in there. And there's the 16-year-old on the other side, and then she walks behind the counter. They both walk behind the counter, and there you go. Hot water in your face. They are running out of that store. They are scolding hot, and they coming out after them again. And look, she got the hot water. And she on the phone calling the police too. So, in summary, they may get a settlement out of it because it's their employee, but I don't blame the workers for doing it, because you don't know what these people are going to do. We've seen evidence. We have more evidence than we can even think about of black women clowning, fighting with aggression, going behind the counter, standing on the counter, throwing things, threatening employees. And these employees don't get paid enough money to put up with that garbage. And I'm going to protect myself. I'm not going to allow you to come behind the counter and hit me, throw something at me, or do anything because I have a job and I work here. They don't pay me enough money just to risk my life for the job, get injured on the job, which they're going to probably end up firing you once that altercation, whatever that altercation comes, whether the customer starts it or not. That employee probably going to lose their job. I hope there's more evidence where they can, some audio or something that they can use. And I hope Taco Bell fights this and not pay a settlement, because it's clearly we see who the aggressor was, because they went behind the counter, and no telling what was said to the workers, that one of them already said, let me get this hot water and go to work if they come back here and threaten us. I think because the thing is she had to know they were coming. It wasn't like they went and got this hot water and was starting something with them wanting to fight. They came behind the counter. They initiated the confrontation, the physical confrontation, and yet they couldn't finish it. And those women finished it by dousing them with hot water. I think it's hilarious. You know, more people need to start reacting like this when it comes to protect yourself on these low paying jobs. You don't get paid enough money. It's already bad enough these places can't even find no one who work there. And the reason why people don't want to work in these places is because they don't want to have to put up with the public and these people that are so irrational. They don't know how to handle conflict. They have to yell, cuss, scream, threaten, fight, pull out a gun, start shooting over BS. Like down here when the man shot the employees, those two women, over mayonnaise. Too much mayonnaise. They put too much mayonnaise on his submarine sandwich, on his sub. And he couldn't just say make it over. He had to come in there and shoot him, kill him. So I don't blame them for reacting the way they did, because you don't know what's going to happen, and why take the risk for $10 an hour. Put your comments below. Tell me what you think about this. Subscribe to my channel, share the videos, and I'll be back with another piece of content. Take care, everyone.